The operational situation remained most difficult in the Donetsk direction, with Russian troops suffering heavy losses near Bakhmut. Brigadier General Alexei Romov, deputy head of the main operational department of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, said this at a briefing on Thursday, commenting on the situation on the front lines. Recently, in the direction of Donbass, the enemy has carried out offensive operations outside Makiivka, Torsk, Bilohorivka, and Ceded, but to no avail. The enemy launched missile attacks on our troop positions and civilian infrastructure outside Lyman, Dybrova, and Kramatorsk districts, and airstrikes outside Makiivka, Terry, Bilohorivka, and Spirit, Gromov said. He also noted that on the Bakhmut axis, enemy forces had carried out offensive operations near Berestov, Sola, Bakhmut, Ivanhrad, Ozaryanivka, and Mesk. In addition, Russian forces launched missile attacks on civilian infrastructure outside Druzhkivsk and airstrikes near the settlements of Yakovlivka, Solidar, and Bakhmut. Gromov noted that the enemy suffered heavy losses toward Bakhmut. In just 24 hours, losses at Wagner's private military firm amounted to 138 people, a third of them, according to the Brigadier General. Even most of those who were injured would never see their loved ones again. The enemy carried out airstrikes on Ukrainian positions outside 12 settlements. In the direction of Zaporizhzhia, the enemy did not manage to attack the Ukrainian positions outside Shcherbaki. Russian troops launched missile attacks on civilian infrastructure outside Yuliaripol, Koshchov, Zaporizhzhia, etc. Airstrikes were also carried out on the city of Dnipro and on Ukrainian troop positions near Zalaznikan, Bilahiria, Shcherbaki, Mali Shcherbaki, and Steve. According to Gromov, in the Kherson region, the enemy has launched 5 missile strikes against civilian infrastructure and 31 airstrikes against positions of the Ukrainian armed forces outside 9 settlements since the start of this week. Meanwhile, Russia has turned Kherson into a city of the dead by trapping everything, including apartments and sewers, and will smash it to pieces as soon as the Ukrainians advance into it, said a senior advisor to President Zelensky. Mykhailo Podolyak issued the warning hours after Moscow said it would withdraw troops from Kherson to the east bank of the Dnipro River, handing over one of the greatest rewards of an invasion of Ukraine. The move was announced on tightly controlled state TV, fueling the fear that the retreat was actually a trap. The Russian Federation wants to make Kherson a city of the dead, Podolyak said Thursday. The Russian military is mining everything they can. Apartments, sewers, artillery on the left bank is planning to turn the city into ruins. General Valery Zaluzny, the supreme commander of the Ukrainian army, said his men had started moving towards the city and had advanced 4 miles in both directions and captured about 12 villages in the last 24 hours. General Zaluzny added that he could neither confirm nor deny whether the retreat was real. The withdrawal, if true, was the most humiliating defeat for Vladimir Putin in a long series of defeats since the war began. Kherson is the only regional capital captured by his men since February, and sits in a province he annexed just weeks ago on an oath that it would be Russia forever. Strategically, the city was Russia's only hold on the west bank of the Dnipro River, and its loss made an attack on Odessa, Ukraine's main port city, and the main goal of the war, all but impossible. Instead, taking it out puts Ukrainian artillery within striking distance of Crimea, which is Kyiv's main objective. Putin's propagandists, reacting with anger to recent defeats in the Kharkiv province, responded to Kherson's withdrawal with gloomy resignation. Margarita Simonian, head of the RT network, added, "I know for sure that this decision is not easy for anyone, not for those who take it, or for those of us who understand it will be like that, but still pray it won't happen." President Zelensky, speaking last night, urged emotional restraint on the news, suggesting that stepping down may not be what it seems. "The enemy did not give us gifts," he added. He also voiced concerns that Russia might try to blow up the dam on Novokharkovka, the headwaters of the Dnieper River from Kherson, flooding the area and draining the reservoir that the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant relies on to cool itself, potentially triggering a meltdown. Issued a warning to Moscow, he said, "This means you are declaring war worldwide. Think about what will happen to you later." Zelensky said his troops would move very carefully, without emotion, without unnecessary risk, into areas Russia claims have been abandoned, strengthening our position step by step to avoid potential pitfalls. "What we don't know is if it's only one time," he added. Did the generals convince him that this should be done now rather than being forced on them? Or does this mark a broader change? Is he more willing to let the generals generalize? What we've seen is really a huge shift from Putin trying to win this war to Putin trying not to lose it. All the moves that we have seen, in terms of mobilization of reservists, the apparent shift back to a more defensible line along the Dnipro, all of which suggests that Putin is digging, hoping victory will come for a long time, terms, that he can outlast the Ukrainians, and perhaps more importantly, that he can outlast the West. Surovikin gave a report in which he said his troops were in danger and civilians were killed, before recommending a retreat. Shoigu agreed, and the wriggling general replied, "Yes, sir. The troop maneuver will be carried out as soon as possible." Witnesses said the Russian men had left the main checkpoints around Kherson and had destroyed bridges in an apparent attempt to stop Ukrainian soldiers from pursuing and arresting them.